Car companies are known for things. Toyota is known for its reliability and solidity. Jeep for its rugged, manly off-roader, the Wrangler. Tesla for electric cars, or not delivering them. In the car business, reputation is everything. In fact, it is their business. BMW reckons they know what they're known for. In fact, they're so confident of that, they say so in their advertising, calling themselves the ultimate driving machine. This is the BMW M4 CS. I reckon I might have found my ultimate driving machine. So what is a BMW M4 CS? There's a bit of argument about this, but I reckon I've got a pretty good handle on it. It's between the M4 competition and the M4 GTS. Now we'll talk about the M4 GTS a bit later, but this is closer to the competition because it's a bit more comfortable. Well, it's a lot more comfortable actually. Right, so on the outside you've got carbon fibre front spoiler, or splitter as like some like to call it, carbon fibre reinforced plastic bonnet so people don't get up in the comments. Same with the roof, carbon fibre reinforced plastic. You've got forged alloy wheels. At the front here they're 19s, at the rear they're 20s. And BMW say that they put the 19s on the front to improve the turning performance. A lot to do with those turning performances are the tyres. These are the same tyres that were on the M4 GTS and they're Michelin's. And it's a bit wet today and I can tell you, they're not great in the wet. Anyway, under the bonnet, of course it's a twin scroll turbo straight six. It's a glorious engine in anything it's in, so it's in a lot of cars from BMW. In this car, the big deal is the torque figure, 600 Newton meters. Again, the same as the M4 GTS. Small carbon fibre out the back, but it's basically an M4, but it's about 40 kilos lighter. Every kilo makes a difference in a car because every kilo you don't have to push means you go faster, it means you handle better. What's also different is the chassis. Underneath you've got different tunings on the active dampers. So the dampers have 3 settings and they're harder in every tune. Not as hard as the GTS, not as scary as the GTS. Inside there's more weight saving. The door cards are gone, some of the interior trim is gone. You don't have an armrest. You've got these door pulls instead of the normal door handle. So there's just little bits of weight have been thrown out and that's how you get to 40 kilos. The back seat, it's back. The GTS didn't have a back seat, it had a cage. So this is a car much more for the road than the GTS was. So, because I'm absurdly lucky, this isn't my first rodeo with this car. When I was at Goodwood Festival of Speed earlier this year, and if you're watching in the future, that's 2017, I was able to nip out and take one of these for 3 hours. And like today, it was wet. But, you know, normally I'm like, bollocks, it's wet, that's gonna suck. And this is a long explanation as to why I think this is my ultimate driver's car, because it's not perfect and it's not the best car on earth, but it does the things I really like. So this is about me, as most things are, of course. This car does the things I like. It's playful, it's fast, but not in a show-off Tesla kind of way, like watch me do 2.5 seconds to 100. I mean, that's just dumb because I can't do anything else. It throws you around the car. It's rock steady on the road. It's just because of the stiffness of the suspension. So this only has a few more kilowatts than the standard M4 competition, but it's got the GTS's 600 Newton meters. Now, there's a lot of, normally I'd say it's nonsense about the GTS on the internet, but that was a bitey car. And you know, M have a reputation, there's that word again, for occasionally dropping a bitey car. And the 1 Series M was a car that could do scary things and did do scary things. So, you know, the GTS is not a car was out of character. It's just something BMW does every few years. Here's a car that's going to scare the crap out of you. It was also a very expensive car. You know, here in Australia, it was an extraordinarily expensive car. So this car is only 2/3 of that. And I think around the world, the CS is about 30 to 40% more than a standard M4. Now, by any objective measure, that's a lot more money for not a lot more. Driving in this morning to where we're shooting, it was really damp. And even though a full throttle acceleration, even on a flat straight, could induce a bit of wheel spin, it would give you a little kick to remind you that, you know, things aren't that straightforward out there on the road with these Michelin Sport Cup tyres. But you're okay, I've got you. And, you know, that's what you want in a car. If you're not some top flight driver, and despite what a lot of people think they're not, and I'm not, if you're not a top flight driver, you like that safety net. Look, M do really good safety nets. They make you feel like you're making the decisions, you're doing the driving, and you do a lot of the driving in an M car. And in the CS, you're doing even more because the power delivery is brutal. The power does come on very quickly, and the rear wheels will spin up if the surface isn't perfect or it's wet. But that's all good because you're buying this car. You are not buying this car for comfort. You are not buying this car because it has all the toys, although it's got plenty of toys. You're buying this car because it's something special, and it's a car that I will always want. I can guarantee you that. I will always want this car, and if I ever have the money, I will buy this car. In many ways, this is the car the M4 should have been from day one, but I don't think this is a car that every M4 buyer would want, and I think BMW knows that. It's lighter, it's faster, it's got 600 Newton meters of torque. It's got almost 500 horsepower. I mean, that's brilliant. So yeah. I think you can not only call me an M4 CS fan, but an M4 CS fanboy. And I'm absolutely unapologetic about that. Is the M4 CS my ultimate driving machine? Well, you can't ever really say that, can you? Because there'll be a car out tomorrow that might be just as good. What I love about this car is this will make you smile every day. It'll make you smile in the wet, the dry, and the in-between. It's so much fun. It actually has a sense of humour. It's lively, it's shouty, it carries on like a bit of a pork chop, and I like that. It's cool. But it's a car you can live with every day. It might some days be a little bit tiring, but most days you're going to love it. And I know if I've ever got the money, I'm having one.